Hello again. It's me, John Necina. Are you bewildered by broaching barbari? Maybe you're mystified by mounting melanora. Or perhaps you're perplexed by pinning provocans. Well, stay tuned for my talk on precise pinning practices, practical pointers for pest professionals. Some things you'll need: a clean workspace, microscope or a large magnifying glass. While not necessary, curator's blocks keep things organized. The Rubus number 7 curved fine-pointed tweezers. Rubus OR fine-pointed self-closing tweezers. The BioQuip micro scissors. Pinning blocks. There are several different grades, but after a certain point, it's just bling. A gimbal. I prefer a decent pencil over a pen, because a pencil doesn't bleed, and you can file the tip in such a way so that it writes ultra small. 3/32 Tygon tubing, number 2 enameled or stainless steel pins, and 12 millimeter by 0.15 millimeter minutins. I found the thinner minutins to be better for pinning mosquitoes. Okay, then I'm just gonna drop the pin through like that. Then to the left of the pin, I'm gonna drive the minutin using the 7 SA forceps. Then I'm just gonna get it at 90 degrees and then drive it home. There we go. And then the micro scissors, should have them handy. And just cut right next to it. And that's that. Unfortunately, I did not freeze the mosquitoes long enough, and I started to film an escape. And here you'll see a mosquito that I froze in a Revco for a couple minutes. As it begins to thaw, you'll start seeing it do a push-up. There it goes. This is why I prefer to pin the mosquitoes when they're stunned as opposed to frozen and thawed. I'm no longer the steady-handed young buck I used to be. I'm not sure if it's my age, the caffeine, or the malathion. But I prefer to use the Rubus reverse action tweezers. In their resting state, they provide enough force to hold a minutin comfortably, and it's one less thing I have to worry about as I'm trying to keep my hand steady for pinning. When I got a lot of good specimens to pin, I like to keep the tweezers lined up in a row like this, just so I can grab and stab. And here I made a diagram of where to drive the minutin when pinning a mosquito. You want to put it through the fore and mid coxa where they come together and form a plus sign. So here we have a nice freshly killed Anopheles specimen. I'm zooming in. Now please bear with me, as what I'm seeing on a screen is different from reality. I prefer to look through the microscope as I'm pinning, and with the camera it was showing me the reverse image, so it was totally messing me up. But here I'm trying to find where the mid and 4 cocci come together. Then I plunge it in, pick it up. I'm checking to see how things are orientated onto my Newton. I probably had my glasses off, so I had to hold it really close. And then here I am bringing everything into focus, and you can see that I got my Newton centered, but not down the center line. So here we have a mosquito that's starting to do a little bit of a push-up. And as I try to pin, all I'm doing is pushing it. So I'm using a pair of tweezers as a backstop. And then I'm sinking the minutin in, getting it in a little bit. May have lost a couple scales there. I'm not too happy with this technique. And then here I'm just trying to get a good look at the mosquito to make sure I've gotten the minutin in straight. And then here I am giving it the final push. And if you'll notice, when I pull back, the mosquito springs a little bit and I lose a couple scales off the back of the thorax. Yep, there's a couple of the scales. Here we have a pinned mosquito. I was having a little bit of issue with this. I had just taken a still picture and the still picture was showing on screen. I was unfamiliar with the software, so I was expecting there to be a live video feed from the camera. So when I'm going in with the minutin probe, you should see in a second, there I am. And I'm trying to straighten out the legs and do a little bit of posing with the mosquito. I was looking at the screen and not getting any feedback. So I'm literally just poking and prodding at this mosquito blind. But if I were able to see, I would be straightening out the legs and trying to get them clear of the minutin so that they could be easily seen through the microscope for ID or just for your viewing pleasure. Then here's me taking the mosquito away, trying to figure out what the heck is going on. Here we have a freshly mounted and posed Anopheles mosquito. Unfortunately, the wings were not staying put when I was trying to extend them, so I had to resort to pinning. I did not pin through the wing, I merely put the pin behind the wing so that the wing could not retract. And just a point or two on convention, pun intended. Earlier in the video, I had stated that the minutin should be placed to the left of the number 2 pin, although in going back, looking through my reference collection and everything else that I had seen online, the minutin should be placed to the right of the number 2 pin. I haven't pinned in a while, and I don't know what happened. I just got something reversed in my brain. Additionally, convention also states that the mosquito should be, the proboscis should be pointing to the right and the abdomen to the left. However, it'll be easier to visualize in this photo as the proboscis is pointing toward the top of the photograph and the abdomen to the bottom of the photograph. And with regard to labeling, I've seen a couple different conventions used. I picked one a long time ago and have been sticking with it, although I'm not sure if it's in line with current practices, but I would recommend speaking to someone much more learned than myself.